Coming up on the Sports Desk, the South Spartans and Torrance Tartars face off against each other for the first time since last year's CIF Southern Section Championship game. Find out if South could get revenge in a two-game duel with the Tartars. Plus, two softball programs look to keep running and gunning. We'll take a look at whether both teams could keep tearing it up. And as always, we'll get you all caught up on scores, highlights, and updates on Torrance's prep and Juco sports scene. The Sports Desk starts right now. Let's go! How's it going, Torrance? Welcome to another week here on the Sports Desk. I'm your host, Collin Kushner. Remember, hit me up on Twitter. That's at Collin Kushner using the hashtag TheSportsDesk and hashtag BoomSauce. Pioneer League play has officially begun on the baseball diamond. There's no better way to start off the 2015 Pioneer League season than with the Torrance Tartars and South Spartans. Both teams have some history together, to say the least. I like to call it the Boston-New York rivalry of prep baseball here in the South Bay. The last time these two teams had a date with one another was in the CIF Division IV Southern Section Championship game. Torrance picked up the tab in that one 11-0, but that was last year. Both teams going in completely different directions so far this season. South trying to avenge last year's CIF Finals loss to the Tartars. Let's pick it up in the top of the first. Dylan Plunkett hits a grounder to third. AJ Pod-Herkak scores. South takes an early 1-0 lead. A few batters later, Genjiro Okura, the catcher for Torrance, can't hang on to the ball. Kawika Hubble, he's going to slide in safely. The Spartans up 2-0 after the first. Bottom three, same score. Ryan Eastburn, he lines this to left, and Genjiro Okura is going to cruise around and score. Torrance only down by a run. Top six, all tied at 2. JB Guyton bunts, and Taylor Carmona comes home. South up 4-2 in the very next play. The ball gets popped up, and Josh Rotuna says, I'm going to touch home plate. And then his boy James Prendergast cruises home. South downs the Tartars 10-3. Josh Rotuna has 2 hits and an RBI, and Evan Brock adds a ribby as the Spartans down the Tartars in their first meeting of the season. In game numero dos, the Spartans get the dub again. South pitcher Nick Beardsley allows just 2 runs on 6 hits with a side of 5 strikeouts. South completes the sweep of the Tartars. It's the first time since 2011 that either team has swept the regular season series. After those 2 big dubs, South's winning ways officially come to an end in the Chatsworth tourney. The Spartans with an early 2-1 lead over Chaminade after 1, but allows 1 run in the 5th and 1 in the 7th to fall 3-2. Over at Torrance, they drop another game. Cypress shuts out the Tartars 7-0. It's the 3rd time this season Torrance has been shut out as they drop their 7th straight game. Rivalries have always been a main staple of the sporting world. They have that extra punch. Players play with raw emotion and have that passion that doesn't seem to exist in every game. It's part of the reason why we love sports so much. The Yankees and Sox, University of Arizona versus Arizona State, go Devils, Dodgers versus Angels, Harvard and Yale, USC and UCLA. I think you catch my drift. Right here in Torrance, with 5 high schools, we have our share of rivalry games. But in my time here in the South Bay, it's been the Torrance Tartars and South Spartans on the baseball diamond. South getting revenge over Torrance this year with the regular season sweep. While Torrance may have won it all last year, the Spartans aren't dwelling on the past. Kiana Martin has that story for you.
The first league baseball game of the season just so happens to be a championship rematch, where both teams are left with something to prove. The previous Pioneer League co-champs duked it out in their first game after Torrance took home the 2014 CIF Southern Section Baseball Championships last year over South. But South is ready to change this dynamic with their cross-city rivals.
There's definitely a rivalry. If you see on Twitter before games, there's always something. We try to stay quiet and say nothing. We let them do the talking, and then we just let the runs and the scoreboard do the talking for us. And we did that today and came out with a win. And Friday we're looking for the sweep.
It's back to when I played. If you're playing another Torrance school, it's a rivalry game. And, you know, we've been in the Pioneer League here for a long time. And it's it's just one of those things where it's a crosstown rivalry, and you love it.
After a disappointing end to their last season, what better way to make a statement than defeating your rival team right here on their very own home turf?
This win means a lot. I mean, last year, obviously, we lost the CIF championship, everything. And it's amazing to just be able to come out in our first game back against them in league and start off league like this. It's great.
Well, last year is pretty much its own year, and we talked about that at the beginning. We're a completely different team than we were last year, and so were they. And so we knew that, hey, we're going to start off with Torrance to start league this year, and as we have every other year. And so we kind of, it was about preparing ourselves for this game here today.
Kicking off what some would call a championship hangover, the talk of Torrance's win is just a thing of the past for South.
Obviously, we're looking for the win and to sweep Torrance after last year. That's all they talked about is last year. Well, now it's this year. It's a new year, so we'll see you Friday.
With the beginning of baseball season officially underway, the Pioneer League title is open for the taking, and any team in your way becomes a new rival. In Torrance, I'm Kiana Martin, reporting for the Sports Desk.
Thanks for that, Kiana. Up north, the Saxons started off their post-spring break season with a 23-0 massacre over Centennial in their first meeting this season. That's the Saxons' first league game and league win of the year. The score speaks for itself in this one. In the first game against the Apache, North scores 1/3 of their 2015 total run output in one game. The North Saxons taking on Centennial again, trying to grab another oh-so-important Pioneer League matchup. The Saxons looking to take the season sweep over the Apache for the first time since 2012. Owen Canada on the bump for North. Bottom one, North up 1-0. Taishe Nakawaki skies this to center, and that's going to drop in. The ball gets misplayed, 1-run scores. North puts up 9 in the inning. Bottom 3, 12 zip Saxons. Kakagawa pops up. The ball gets misplayed, and North tags up their 15th run. Very next batter, Jonathan Niramatsu lines this to right, and another run's going to come in and score. North scores 4 more in the fourth as they go on to win 20-0. North puts up 43 runs against Centennial in the 2-game set and grabs the season sweep. The last time North swept the Apache, they combined for 19 runs in 2 games. Still impressive, but just a tad less than the 43 this year. In their next game, North falls to Lakewood 6-5. The Saxons with the early 3-2 lead, but can't hang on as Lakewood adds 3 in the 5th and 1 in the 6th for the victory. Meanwhile, out west, the Warriors get their first taste of Pioneer League play ever against a losing team they're all too familiar with. West hasn't lost to the Olympians since the 2004-2005 season. To put that in perspective for you, I was just 1 year removed from my bar mitzvah, and the song Yeah by Usher featuring Lil Jon and Ludacris and Kelly Clarkson's Since You've Been Gone were 2 of the biggest hits that year. Don't worry, I won't sing for ya. The newcomers to the Pioneer League follow in North's footsteps with a 25-0 win over the Olympians in game number 1. The Warriors put up 17 runs in the first 2 innings to cruise to the victory. In their next game, West breezes past Losinger 13-1, so the Warriors take their first 2 Pioneer League games, tacking on 38 runs and only allowing 1. But the good vibes come to a close for West as they fall in a Redondo tourney game to La Mirada 5-1. Both West and North put up over 30 runs in their first 2 league meetings, but then fall in their Redondo tourney games. Rounding out your prep baseball news, the Bishop Montgomery Knights. Bishop coming off 2 straight losses, trying to avoid their 3rd in a row. Bishop taking on Cantwell's Sacred Heart. The Knights 3-1 in league play coming into this one. Let's pick it up in the top of the second. No score. Tim Beaver on the mound. He gets the strikeout. He's just getting warmed up. Bottom 3, still no score. Patrick Coley pops up, and Cantwell, where's the ball? It's going to drop. Next batter, Dominic Johnson hits a shot to right field. Patrick Coley's going to cruise around and advance to 3rd. And in the same inning, Austin Garby's going to come up for Bishop, and he's going to smack that, and Coley's going to come around and score the lone run of the game. Bishop hangs on to win 1-0. Bishop escapes at home in game number 1, but in game number 2, Cantwell crushes the Knights 12-0. It's Bishop's worst loss of the 2015 season. They're now 8-11 overall and 4-2 in league play. Now, over the last few seasons, the baseball program at Bishop has seen its share of changes. The Knights have had 17 different baseball coaches, 4 in the last 4 years. Not exactly the best recipe for success, but the newest man at the helm has some ties to the school and some big plans. Reporter Evelyn Gomez has that story for you.
The last couple of years haven't been too great for the Bishop Montgomery baseball program, but the Knights didn't have to look too far for an answer. They hired a familiar face to help turn their program around.
I'm a graduate, 94, and from 2000 to 2011 I was an assistant coach for Andy Marafino. 2003 was the only year I wasn't here. I was at Long Beach City College as a pitching coach. So yeah, this is definitely not my first year here, but my first year as head coach.
Coach Fuller is back at his old stomping grounds. In fact, in '94, he used to pitch on this very mound.
While a student at Bishop Montgomery, Fuller had an outstanding career on the diamond. He was named Mission League Pitcher of the Year, Daily Breeze All-Area, and BMHS Co-Mail Athlete of the Year as a senior in 1994. He ranks in the top 10 in 4 single-season pitching categories at Bishop Montgomery.
He's doing great. We've had trouble with coaches. We've had 3 coaches in the last 4 years, so him coming in, he's really turned around our program, and he's doing a great job.
Fuller has been a pitching coach for most of his coaching career, but being a head coach doesn't stop him from coaching the pitchers.
I still work with the pitchers, and I still call the game. I just get to call the offense now too, which was something that I always wanted to do. So it's fun being able to do everything.
He runs our pitching program, everything that we do. I used to just throw it as hard as I could and not find my spot, and he's really helped with that.
Fuller's goal is to turn things around, but his ultimate goal this year?
Ultimate goal for every year is to win a ring. So, that's our goal, and that's what we tell our kids, and we're very serious about that.
The Knights are 4-1 in league and 8-10 overall. There's still a lot of baseball left to get that much desired ring. From Torrance, I'm Evelyn Gomez reporting for the Sports Desk.
Thanks for that, Evelyn. Remember, hit me up on Twitter with any sweet pics and video. That's at Collin Kushner using the hashtag #TheSportsDesk and hashtag #BoomSauce. When we come back, we are going to take you to the softball diamond as the Torrance Tartars battle it out with that team down south as both teams start the 2015 chapter of Pioneer League play. Stay right where you are. Welcome back. You can hit me up on Instagram. That's the SportsDesk TV using the hashtag #TheSportsDesk. Pioneer League play has begun on the softball diamond. Torrance and South squaring off against each other for the very first time this season. Torrance coming off that Allen Dugard Classic championship over spring break, while the Spartans looking to get back on track after coming off those 2 losses to Santa Monica before the break. Torrance has swept the Spartans the last 2 seasons. There's Marissa Moreno in the circle for the Tartars, bottom of the 5th. South down 1-0. Bozart goes down swinging. Moreno just getting warmed up. A few batters later, Moreno, she's going to add another strikeout. She would have 14 in this one. Top of the 6th, 1-0. Hannah Lilly strikes out Marissa Moreno. Lilly getting in on the fun. She'd have 8 in this game. Top 7, Torrance up 1-0. Sammy Pollock smacks a double to deep left. And that's going to go all the way to the wall. She's going to cruise in for a double. A few batters later, Jadar Solanian at the dish for the Tartars, and she's going to chop that to third. Aaron Alvarado scores. Torrance adds another run. They're up 3-0. Bottom of the 7th, same score. Marissa Moreno. She's going to get the strikeout, and Torrance down south in a pitcher's duel. 3-0. Marissa Moreno was a story again for the Tartars. She tosses a 1-hitter and adds 14 strikeouts on the afternoon. It's Moreno's 2nd dominating performance in a row. While South pitcher Hannah Lilly has herself a nice afternoon with 8 punch-outs. In their next game against Lusinger, Torrance puts up 10 runs and cruises to the shutout victory for their second league win in a row. But the good vibes don't last for long. Torrance falls to Pacifica 1-0, snapping their 5-game win streak. Torrance is now 15-6 overall this season. Up north, the Saxons take their second straight Pioneer League game with a win over West. Lauren Sabahone goes yard with 4 ribbies, and Desiree Moreno adds 3 hits with an RBI for North. That's North's 3rd win in a row as they head into a double dip with Santa Monica. North won the last 4 meetings against the Vikes, averaging over 6 runs per game. Let's pick it up in the top of the 4th. We're all knotted up at 1. Veronica Garcia gets the strikeout. We're still tied at 1. To the bottom of the 6th, North down 2-1 now. Alyssa Wing, she's going to bunt in. The run's going to come in. North and SM are all tied up at 2. Same inning here. Oops, there she goes. I was a little carried away on that one. Same inning. Lexi Hendon at the dish and crushes that to left. The game-winning run's going to come all the way around and score. North takes game numero uno, 3-2. So that's the Saxons' 5th straight win over Santa Monica. Let's go back to El Camino College for the second game of the doubleheader. North looking for the series sweep over the Vikes for the 3rd straight year. Let's pick it up in the top of the 1st. North up early. The single to center. 1 run's going to come around and score. North goes up 3-0. A few batters later, bases loaded. Santa Monica walks in a Saxons run. North with a commanding 4-0 lead. And a little bit later on in this game, this gets crushed to left for the double. That's going to go all the way back to the fence. The Jets are going to get turned on. North gets a nice, easy double on that play. And then up next, that one gets hit down the line and drives home the winning run. North goes on to win 5-3. The Saxons grab another win and another sweep over the Vikings. North averaging over 5 runs per game in the 6 meetings against the Vikes since 2012. With the 2 dubs, North improves to 16-6 overall. Rounding out your prep softball news, the Bishop Montgomery Knights. Bishop loses their 2nd straight game in a non-league matchup against San Pedro 7-2 and drop their next 2 league meetings against Mary Star of the Sea and St. Monica. The Knights still winless in league play. When we come back, we will take you to the volleyball court where the West Warriors look to grab 2 big wins against Pioneer League rivals south of Torrance. Stay right where you are.
Hey, this job looks perfect. It says you need people skills? Check. Driver's license? Check. And a high school diploma. You've got one of those, right?
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
I got that. You are good to go.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Every proper bear knows that the right fit means everything. Especially when it comes to car seats.
Oh, really? I just did what any bear would do.
So know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size.
I like it.
To learn more, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Oh, hello there.
Oh, where's that bear?
Welcome back, everybody. Hit me up on Facebook. That's facebook.com/thesportsdesktv or via email. That's thesportsdesk@torranceca.gov with any story ideas. That team down south and that team out west facing off against each other for the 2nd time this season. The first was a Redondo tournament game early on in the year. South, losers of 2 straight, trying to get back on track against the Warriors. South with 4 sweeps on the season, trying to go for 5 against West. Let's pick it up in the first set. West up 4-3. Phillip Hunter, he's going to get the smackdown, or this little scoop shot for South. Spartans tie this up at 4. Later in the first, South down by 2. Brandon Savage gets that off the West players. South now down by 1. Very next play, the Spartans with the kill. South takes set 1, 25-23. To the second set, South up by 2. Troy Ellis with the shot, bounces off the West Warrior player. South goes on to take set 2, 25-16. Third set, West up by a point, and the Spartans get that. We're all tied up. Later in the third, South up. Nathan Barkashot, hits the net, nothing but net. That's not good in volleyball terms. South takes the set 25-21 in the sweep over West. South snaps their 2-game losing skid with the win over West and grab their 5th sweep of the season, while the Warriors fall to their Torrance rivals. Now, West trying to right the ship against a Torrance squad that hasn't lost since March 10th against Palos Verdes. Torrance taking on the West Warriors. There's Coach shaking some hands, and Torrance getting pumped up early and West getting jacked up too. Let's pick it up in the first set. Torrance up by 1. Max Perez, boom sauce, gets the slam. Torrance up 8-6. Same set. West down by a point. Max Perez again. That's going to go off the West Warriors to the point. Torrance up 15-13. Very next play, Noah Carroll. He's got it. He gets a slam. West down by 1. Later in the first, Torrance up by 2. Maya O'Hear gets the spike off the West player. Count it. Torrance goes on to take set 1 and the match 3-2. Max Perez has 23 kills, and Andrew Villanueva has 17 digs, and Kyle Nakahira has 33 assists for Torrance, while David Dorsey has 12 kills and 7 blocks for West. Torrance takes their 7-match win streak into the Chadwick tournament. Senior Max Perez earns MVP honors for the Tartars as they breeze through Vistamar, Bosco Tech, Chadwick, and then San Pedro in the finals. Over at North, the Saxons fall to the Spartans 3-1. The win is South's 10th straight over the Saxons, while North hasn't won a match against South since 2010. Staying on the topic of the South Spartans, they have won 2 straight, including that win over North, while the Torrance Tartars looking to keep their winning ways going. Torrance trying to take the season sweep over the Spartans. Let's see, Kyle Robinson rocking the sweet hair flow and nice color to it as well. And Vincent Pogret says, hey, my hair looks better than yours. Let's pick it up in the first set. No score. Torrance's Mac Perez gets the kill. Perez just getting warmed up. Same set. Torrance up 6-3. Perez again. Crushed. Torrance up 7-3. And a few plays later, South down by a point. Philip Hunter with the smackdown. South rallies off 4 straight to tie this at 7. Later in set number 1, game point for Torrance. It looks like South's point, but is ruled in favor of Torrance. It's hard to take set 1, 25-17. To set number 2, the Spartans down by a few. Justin Dutko gets the shot. South only down by 2. And a few plays later, set point for Torrance. Kevin Gonzalez in. Torrance takes set 2, 25-17, and sweeps the match over South. Torrance keeps their winning ways. That's their 12th win in a row, while the Spartans have their 2-game win streak snapped. Rounding out your prep volleyball news, the Bishop Montgomery Knights. Bishop grabs their 3rd league win of the season against Bishop Amat in the Culver City Invitational. The Knights have no problem in each of their tourney games, thanks to the stellar play of tournament MVP Blake Miles. Bishop has no trouble as Bryce Tokatlian has 16 kills, Drew Beimel has 14 kills, and Blake Boom Sauce Miles adds a casual 18 kills. Bishop just keeps #winning. They grab another big league win, this time over LaSalle, 3-1. Blake Miles has 15 kills, and Drew Beimel adds 11 in the dub. Totally switching gears, we talk a lot about the various spring events here in the South Bay, but one event in particular held at West High School always grabs a lot of attention here in Southern California. The 16th annual Sketcher South Bay Track and Field Championships were held at West High recently. Over 1,500 athletes and 26 schools participated in the evening event, which had some of the South Bay's best athletes. We spoke with West High track and field coach Jason Trout about the event.
The South Bay Championships came about to bring all the schools together to find out finally who is the best kid from the South Bay in each event. Schools all the way from Maricosta to San Pedro, some Long Beach schools. We have a little bit of everything around here. We just got the best athletes around competing to see who's the best.
You heard it from Coach Druten himself, to see who is the best. Plenty of Torrance's own grabbed some honors in this year's South Bay Championship meet. The West boys won the team competition. Yosef Badur of West captures first place in the 1600, and South's Kimberly Kosha getting some more love. She grabs first place in the girls 3200 with a time of just over 11 minutes. When we come back, we're going to take you to the baseball diamond where the El Camino Warriors try to get back on track after 2 straight conference losses. Get your popcorn ready.
like a clean car, but it wastes a lot of water if you wash it yourself. So I take mine to a professional car wash. Saves over 100 gallons. I'm a Californian and I don't waste water.
When I do my laundry, I always make sure to do full loads. Washing full loads can save a ton of water, and it saves me a lot of time. I'm a Californian and I don't waste water.
Welcome back. Hit me up on Twitter. That's at Collin Kushner. And if you have anything to feed the hashtag SportsDesk, we'll serve it up with some boom sauce. To your Juco sports news now. The El Camino men's volleyball squad is in the playoffs for the 4th straight season, taking on my hometown team, the Irvine Valley College Lasers. Elko's usual 1-2 punch gets it done again. Casey Wood has 16 kills, and Cesar Medina adds 10 kills in Elko's first-round sweep over IVC. Elko heads to the state semis, setting up a date with Grossmont College down in, as Ron Burgundy would say, San Diego. Over on the baseball diamond, the El Camino Warriors took Game 1 of their series with Cerritos, but lost the next 2 crucial conference matches. Elko trying to get back on track against East Los Angeles College. The Warriors went 1-2 in last year's 3-game set with the Huskies. Let's pick it up in the bottom of the first. Elko up 2-1. Fred Smith takes off for second, and he's there in time. And Joey Notch up, and Brosif doubles to center. Fred Smith comes around, he scores. Elko up 3-1. And let's pick it up now in the top of the second. Let the Dalton Herb show begin. Chris Flores goes down looking. Next batter, Anthony Mendoza. Adios. Take a seat. 1-2-3 inning for Herb with 5 strikeouts after 2. Bottom of the 4th, East LA up 4-3. Joseph Cortez at the dish for Elko, and he's going to double the center. Joey Notch, he waltzes in, and coming in right behind Ricardo Serrano, he slides in safely, dirties up the white jerseys, but that's okay. Elko puts up 6 total runs in the inning and goes on to win 10-4. Dalton Herb with another phenomenal performance on the mound. He has 11 strikeouts in 8 innings of work. Elko sits in 4th place in the South Coast Conference behind Long Beach, Cerritos, and El Camino Compton Center. Wrapping up all of your Juco sports news, the Elko softball squad, Lady Warriors, lost a pivotal game against Mount Sac 9-3, but got themselves back in the win column with a huge victory over LA Harbor. With the win, Lady Warriors clinched the SCC title outright. It's week 2 of my weekly rant here on the Sports Desk, this time the NFL pre-draft edition. Mock drafts have been popping up like crazy. The experts have been salivating over talent, and to be honest, I haven't agreed with anything that those guys have been saying. Why in the world would you draft a quarterback number 1 overall, or even in the first round, especially when your team has other needs? First of all, if you're picking number 1 overall, your team probably isn't that good to begin with. I hate to burst your little bubble, but one guy won't make the difference, at least not in football. Do I really have to bring up Jamarcus Russell, Brandon Weeden, Blaine Gabbert, or Christian Ponder, or any of the other guys who were drafted way too early, and we're supposed to be the so-called savior of the franchises that drafted them? I think I've made my point. I get that every now and again a specimen like Andrew Luck will pop up, but we all know guys like that are rare occasions. Take a look at LeBron James, for instance. There hasn't been a player that's been drafted since him that's been that dominant in the NBA. Come on, Jameis Winston getting picked number 1 by the Buccaneers? Kid needs to mature just a little bit before he can start running a pro offense. Great, he can make decisions on the football field, but somehow off the field he can't? Really makes no sense to me. Part of being in the NFL is twofold. You need to be able to make good decisions on the football field and off. General managers and coaches always say that they're going to sit their multi-million-dollar first-round pick until they get the hang of things. Are you kidding me? Anyways, it's a good thing this is just my rant because honestly, I don't think I would last long as an NFL GM. What do you think about the upcoming draft? Hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or shoot me an email with your thoughts. All right, everybody, that's going to close the books on another week here on the Sports Desk. As always, we're available on Facebook. That's facebook.com/thesportsdesktv. Or if you'd like to email the show with any story ideas, it's thesportsdesk@torranceca.gov. Also, feel free to hit us up on Twitter with pics, video, or anything sports related here in the South Bay. That's at Collin Kushner, and use the hashtag #thesportsdesk and hashtag #boomsauce. And we're also on Instagram. That's the Sports Desk TV. And don't forget, if you just feel like saying hi, you can do that as well. Thanks again for everybody here at CitiCABLE helping me week in and week out. Take it easy, Torrance. We'll catch you next time.